Okay, in this problem, we have the shape of the distribution of time required to get an oil change at a 20-minute oil change facility is unknown. Okay, so we don't know that this is a bell-shaped curve. However, records indicate that the mean time is 21.7 and the standard deviation is 4.4 minutes. Okay, so the first question says, to compute probabilities regarding the sample mean using a normal model, what size sample would be required? And that is correct. The sample size needs to be greater than 30 in order to use a normal distribution. So in question B, we have a sample that's greater than 30. We here have a sample of 40. And we want to know what is the probability that a random sample of 40 oil changes results in a sample mean time less than 20 minutes. So what we need to do here is we're going to be computing the probability that x is less than 20. Now, in order to do that, we need to know two things. We need to know the mean and the standard deviation. And we know if we're looking at a sampling distribution, the mean is the same. The mean of the sampling distribution is also going to be 21.7 minutes. That doesn't change. But the standard deviation, we've got to use a little formula for that. So our formula for standard deviation of the sampling distribution is to take the standard deviation of the population, 4.4, and divide it by the square root of the sample size. And in this case, that was 40. And when we do that arithmetic, and we divide that out, we find out that this answer is going to be, let me jot it down right here, I guess, 0.6957. So in order to find the probability that x is less than 20, I'm going to be using these two numbers. I'm going to go back over here to StatCrunch. Let me get rid of this. And in StatCrunch, I'm using the calculator for normal, with the mean being 21.7 and the standard deviation being that 0.6957. And we're looking for the probability that x is less than 20. So we compute, and that ends up being this answer that you see here, 0.0073. Then question C says, suppose the manager agrees to pay each employee a $50 bonus if they meet a certain goal. On a typical Saturday, the oil change facility will perform 40 oil changes between 10 and 12. Treating this as a random sample, at what mean oil change time would there be a 10% chance of being at or below? And that's being at or below this goal that they're trying to reach. So our mean is still 21.7. Our standard deviation is 0.6957. What we don't know is this number. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. We don't know what that is, but we want the probability of that to be 10%. So that's 0.10. So the probability that x is less than something needs to be 10%. And so when we compute, that's going to give us 20.8. So there would be a 10% chance of being at or below 20.8 minutes. Hope this helps.